Hi all. It's Melinda. I'm back with you today at the start of another challenge from Mind the Scrap group. We have decided that we are going to do a summer challenge, and it's going to consist of groups, 5 groups of ladies. There's about 55 of us altogether, so there's about 11 in each group right now. And we are going to earn points based on the 5 ingredients that another group has chosen, and each group gets a turn to choose for the whole 5 groups. This time, the ingredients we have to use, and each one is worth 5 points. You can use one or all of them, and we can make as many layouts as we want within this week, and we earn points for each one. So this is week 1. It is item 1. We have to use one item from Mind the Scrap kit, any kit. I only have one kit, and it was a couple months ago, and I am choosing to use the letters out of them. They're Heidi Swap Ghost Alpha. I'm going to use those out of there. What I have here is a Felicity Jane kit from sometime last year. It's the only kit I ever got from them, so it was last year. The number 2 thing is to use this sketch. It has a lot going on. Number 3 is to use the color turquoise, and I picked this kit because it had a nice turquoise in it that I thought would work. Number 4 is to journal on the page, so not on the back but on the page. And number 5 is to use a punch of some sort, whether it's a border punch like I on the sketch, or a heart punch or circle punch or whatever. So those are the 5 things. Each of them are worth 5 points. So if I do every one of them, I get 25 points for this layout. And that'll go into our group tally to see which group wins. And we're not necessarily winning anything. It's just kind of a fun challenge. So I have chose to do one of these photos. I was thinking I was going to do 2 because there's 2 in here, but I printed them too large, and if I use 2 photos, I'm not going to have room for much else on the layout. So I'm going to probably pick one and go down with 1 photo. I just got to figure out which one it is. And because it is all pictures from my daughter's trip to Rome, the title is going to be When in Rome, I think. So without further ado, I'm going to stick you on fast forward, and you can see how this comes together. I don't have much else of a thought of what papers I'm going to use where yet, but I'm going to try to stick to the sketch if I can, so I can get 5 points for that. All right, thank you.
We're going to start out by clearing the decks here and cutting all the photos down, because again, I'm not sure which one I'm going to use. And I'm going to go through the papers and figure out which ones. I've got to familiarize myself with like the colors in the kit and what papers are there, the backs and the fronts. So I've got to look. I like that notebook paper because that can be what I journal on. And I'm thinking I wanted to use that stripe paper because it had all the colors in it, but I'm struggling with what I would do with it. So I go back to, okay, let's do the base. It is white cardstock, and for that long piece on the edge, I think that this wide newsprint washi tape from AliExpress will be just right. I plan on ripping it on the edge that's on the inside, so I'm not too concerned about how wide it is right now. I'm going to use a doily for the circle element that's in the layout. There's 2 of them stacked up because I like the thickness of it, and I'm just trying to see, do I want that to be... I don't end up using the stripe paper because it's a little bit too bright, and I chose this picture with the peachy orange in the background because I thought it went better with the kit. This is a paper that I'm going to be happy to use both sides of. So it brings in the light turquoise color. Just got to figure out how wide I want to make it. I'm just going to rip that side. And then the rest of it I'm going to stick it underneath for the journaling lines. So then the next thing I got to worry about for paper is the, I don't want to call that the top layer that has the fishtail cut in it. But I'm going to try these letters out. And like I said, the ghost letters are from the kit that will give me 5 points, but they're too big. And I like the Rome being in the turquoise color, so I have to rethink that. I'm digging through the kit right now to see what else I could use that would be from the kit. So far, the flare badge is what's sticking out to me. I don't love it for this layout, so it'll stay there for a bit, but I won't end up using it. This is where I'm going to rip it, and I ended up ripping it too small when I put the fishtail on, so I had to move it. I like this polka dotted paper, but I didn't really want to cut it because I liked the back, and I don't know which ones I want to use in another project, so I was a little hesitant to cut this. So I ended up cutting it twice and using the center section. But this stripy peachy thing card, I'm thinking would be my extra piece at the top. So it's going to go about there, and I'm trying to figure out where I want that to be. I'm just going to fold it without creating too much of a crease and just cut it and hope I did right. But when I put this on here, I noticed that the little point, there's a gap in where the newsprint comes and where the point is, and it creates like a dead white space, so that drives me nuts. There is the border punch that I want to use. I think that's where I can bring in more teal. So this is just washi tape and a border punch that I got at a garage sale from Stampin' Up. And I'm just going to, it's for some reason was really tough to punch through this thick cardstock and the washi tape, so I had to put some muscle behind it. And I just need it to be wide enough to go underneath that section. I like to cut, when I do scallops, to cut not in between scallops, but on a scallop, so that it, I don't know, it's better for my eye, I think. I don't know why I think so, but I like it better. I've been into just stapling my layers together lately. Guess I'm saving on adhesive. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to put up with that scallop, and this card has got the colors in it. But I need to edit in another spot because I don't think it would just look good with just that up there. So I'm going to trim it down to what I need it to be for that spot. And the extra I'm going to tuck in as a layer. It helps bring in that peachy orange color from the photo. And then the letters can just fit right there. I'm going to add tissue paper to the back of the photo and just wrinkle it up, cut it down, and then I just use washi tape to make sure the wrinkles stay in. I do it to add a nice soft layer to the photo, but I notice when I do that I take up too much of the space for the doilies to show, so I just rip it apart and move it up. Only happy accidents, I guess. I'm going to pop the photo up so it gives it a little more dimension. I'm going to staple that layer there and lay the letters back out. Just trying to get the whole section placed so that it is where it needs to be on the background. These are Teresa Collins tile stickers. I wish I would have used bigger ones now that I see the layout done, but they work. The main word is Rome that I wanted to show up, so I guess that works. I'm just going to start pulling embellishments from the Felicity Jane kit to see if they will work. The flare badge there that I have in my hand says Adventure. That stays, and so does the sequins. This butterfly is from One Canoe 2. It was in the Mind the Scrap kit for May, so that's my one item from the kit. This is Plain Jane and Coal, and I marked the layout because I noticed I was getting ink on the layers. I didn't want them on the layers, and for some reason I decided to sop this up this way. It takes too long. I revert back to just pouncing on it, and I was making a mess. I have ink on my hands and all that good stuff. Now it's just going to be to get everything down. This is a cut file that says Explore that came in the Felicity Jane kit. I'm just going to tuck it in that layer. I'm going to try out some different things out of there, and like I said, they don't stay. The sketch had a lot going on, and I didn't need any extra. I am going to... I made a mess there. I'm sorry. I made a mess with the ink with my finger, and I was like, oh boy. I'm deciding that I am going to use this thin score tape. I was unsure of what adhesive I could use because these letters are a thick vellum. I just didn't want it to be, you see the adhesive through it, but turns out it's not bad. This works wonderful for that. As I get these down, I will let you know that I do end up sewing in 3 different spots on the layout in black thread. That's just to spread the black around. And they're messy, so it kind of adds to the mess I made with the ink. I love the size of these letters. They really make an impact. Just going to adhere it all down. And this is just so I can go sew it, so I have to take everything else off. I'm going to sew in the 3 spots I'm showing you. The magic of television, the sewing is done. You need to watch me break a needle and have to rethread it 3 times. I was not happy with my sewing machine today. I'm going to go ahead and stick the photo down. Just going to use the clear Tombow Mono glue to put these sequins down. Big glue dot for the flare badge. I'm just checking off my list to make sure I got everything. This being my first layout, I was a little hesitant that I was going to forget. I'm going to date stamp it, just the month and the year, because I don't know what date this was on my daughter's actual vacation. The journaling reads, how many times in your life can you say that and actually be in Rome? The trip you saved for in 2 years was so awesome. I was so glad you got to go on this adventure before you started college. Love, Mom. Just taking a look at the cut apart sheet, and I noticed that there's a peachy orange color geotag, but it's too small to go in and manipulate, so I stick it on a post-it notes so that I can manipulate it in the punch and get it just right. Gives me a little handle. It is a self-adhesive sticker, but I want it to, it's too flat. I needed it to pop it up, so I'm going to use some of the fun foam and cut a little square and then just trim around it so that it is hidden. So that's self-adhesive now too, because the fun foam is. I'm going to take little chunks of fun foam and stick it under the layers at the corners and whatnot in the edges, just so it gives it some dimension and pops the layers off the page. So when I put it in the page protector, it keeps the shadows, and the butterfly will kind of have its wings popped up. I don't adhere it down, just stick it to the one side of the layer. Make sure nothing falls off. On the backs of my layout, I always write things, and today I wrote 87 2017, process video 29, the date, Mind the Scrap Summer Challenge week 1, and it's worth 25 points. It's just for my records. This is a slow the video down for you at all the layers and the details. There'll be some still shots at the end. I want to thank you for watching. It's been great. If you get a chance and you're curious about Mind the Scrap, they're a wonderful group of ladies on Facebook, and they welcome everybody, and we have fun challenges. Come on and join us. Thank you. See you later.